Now, the simple question I'm asking today is, where are the signings? Where are these January transfer window signings? That's what I'm going to be discussing on today's West Ham Transfer News Show. Now, as I speak, we currently have 3 first-team centre-backs at the club at a level that I think are good enough to be playing in the centre-back position for West Ham in the Premier League. Now, one of them is injured, as we know, after we received the news this week of Kurt Zouma, who's picked up another injury that could sideline him for another month. That leaves us Angelo Ogbonna and Naya Fagerd. And let's not lie when we say they've also got a bit of an injury record. Of course, Angelo Ogbonna with his ACL injury that put him out for a year. And as well, Naya Fagerd has had 2 injuries already in his short time at West Ham. This is worrying me, of course, after we did let go Craig Dawson earlier on this week to Wolves on a permanent basis. That leaves us 2 current fit centre-backs. Now, you could put Kera into that category, but in my opinion, he's not good enough to be starting at a centre-back position, or right back for that matter. I don't think he's good enough, full stop, and I don't think the resort should have to go down to playing him there again, because Moyes has clearly identified he wasn't good enough, because he stopped playing him there and he tried him at right back and that didn't work, and he tried him at left back. I do feel for the lad slightly because of that, but that doesn't shy away from the fact that he's not good enough and he isn't good enough to be playing in the Premier League. So that leaves us Ogbonna and Agard. What now happens if one of them gets injured? We're in trouble, aren't we? We're going to end up having to put either Kera there or putting Creswell there or Johnson, who's been played there in the past. We don't want to be doing that. So the question I ask is, why aren't we signing a centre-back? And with Moyes coming out in press conferences today saying that we don't really have any signings in the pipeline and sort of indicating that it's going to be a quiet remainder of the January transfer window, that sort of baffles me in a way, because we're not in the best position. And if we, heaven forbid at the moment, lose another centre-back for an injury, then we're sort of in trouble. And I'm just struggling to see why David Moyes would take that risk. Why doesn't he bring in a centre-back? He must have a list of centre-backs identified that he thinks good enough to come in and do a job. So why doesn't he go out and at least attempt to try and sign one? Because at the moment, it doesn't look like he's accepting the fact that in the centre-back position, we've currently got 2 fit centre-backs, which is not enough, Dave, to get us through the remainder of the season. Of course, Curtis Zouma will come back at some point from that injury, but what if another one of them gets injured? Then we're left with 2 again, or we might be left with 1 at one point. It's worrying, and it really, really is worrying me. And with, less than 3 days left, as I'm recording of this January transfer window, we just seem to be dawdling around and not really doing anything. What's your thoughts? Put it in the comments section down below. Where are the signings? Do you think we should be making more signings? And do you think, certainly in my opinion, I think we should be looking to bring in another centre-back in this window? Now, of course, there's been plenty of talk about bringing in another striker, of course, with Scamacca out injured. And now Danny Ings out injured as well. And of course, with Antonio's rufflings about having talks about leaving the club. Of course, Moyes shut those down today, but there's still that fact that that we do want to try and bring in another striker. Moffey, is he still on the radar from the club? I don't know. All of these questions need to be answered, needs to be answered quickly, because I'm just not quite sure how David Moyes expects us to get through the rest of the remainder of the season with 2 and at some points a luxury of 3 centre-backs fit, and especially if he wants to play a back 5 or a back 3, whatever he wants to call it. So yeah, I'm struggling to get my head around it, and hopefully Dave can prove me wrong by either bringing in a centre-half in the next few days or playing out the rest of the season with what he's got and being comfortable with the players we've got there. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I right? Put it in the comments section down below. There isn't much news to report on, so it's not really a transfer news show. But yeah, more of an opinion-based feature of me just being a little bit baffled by the fact is that Moyes at the moment isn't aiming to bring in another centre-back after letting one go, which doesn't make sense in my head. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Official, put your thoughts, I want to hear them in the comment section down below. That's it from me. Come on, you guys, and I'll catch you soon right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.